Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. As the recording of this, it is Thursday, November 6th, 2025. I'm wearing an appropriate WDW shirt because I'm heading to Walt Disney World to ride the Skyliner, friendship boats, etc. Yesterday going on the monorail kind of made me think about maybe possibly doing some other transportation devices from park to park, resort to resort at Walt Disney World. So that's what I'm going to do today. We'll just see where the day leads. I'm inviting you, yes you, to join me. It's good to have you here. Shall you? Current temperature at the moment, a little after noon, 12:04. As I'm showing the temp in celebration, 77 degrees. It's going to get up to 79, a slightly overcast. And then it's going to decrease down to 78, 76. Not incredibly warm, but I wouldn't say it's quite cool yet, but it will. Over the next couple days, the temperature is going to dip down just a little bit. Look at Monday and Tuesday. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I leave the country in a couple weeks from right now, give or take a day. So from now till then, a lot of theme park stuff, a lot of Central Florida stuff, a lot of celebration stuff, and hopefully some cool weather. Pulling up to the parking area at Disney's Hollywood Studios, they got these little tiny speed grates. Epcot has huge speed humps, speed bumps, but here they just have little teeny tiny speed grates. I guess people try not to go as fast at studios as they do at Epcot. Like in this overcast day. So I'm gonna pop in. I got a reservation, so I gotta scan into studios, grab a coffee, maybe check out the now demolished archway from my youth. I have not seen it since it's been removed, which is kind of sad. And then I'll grab the Skyliner out. Small cones, very small cones. They were small cones, big cones, big cones. Large cones, big cones, small cones, large cones. Big cones, small cones, large cones. Pulling into the parking area. Parked not too far from the front, so gonna opt to not get on the parking tram. Birds are squawking. Other birds are chirping. I just had a side note thought. I was driving over here. How fast time goes. Time goes so fast. And you look back on changes and things, not only in your life, but for the terrain and places that you go and things like that. And I really like doing daily videos. Just as a good template to look back on, like a little video diary, as I've stated. The ebbs and flows of daily life. There was a long time there were no trams running through here for a couple years. But now they're back and it's all normal. And one day I'll go back and watch all those old videos of no tram, where you could just walk across here, no one would yell at you. But now you can't because it's a tram crossing. And the transportation device I'm about to get on shortly, the Skyliner, now it's just such a commonplace thing that everyone knows about, but when those pillars went in and those big stanchions wedged in the ground and everyone was thinking, what is that going to be? And they were testing it. Everyone had their opinions and thoughts of whether it was going to be successful or not, and the time before they were even there. Now they're there, and it's just a common thing. Progress in time is an interesting thing. And it'll be fun to look back on one day. When I'm sitting around, when I'm an old man, watching these videos back. Assuming I make it that long, and if I don't, at least they'll be on for others to watch. This is the trash can right here. That's the trash can sticker. All the Christmas decorations are in full effect down Hollywood Boulevard. And down Hollywood Boulevard, I'm going to stop inside the Trolley Car Cafe, where today is the first official day of the new holiday season. And I'm going to get the new holiday drink. All right, peppermint mocha latte with no whip achieved. This is the first day that they've had this for the season, so I figured I'd grab it. It is a bizarre feeling knowing that the archway was there for countless decades. All my memories at the studios, the arch was there leading over into the animation courtyard and this whole area, and then eventually became Launch Bay and all that's closed up. Little Mermaid show just reopened, but everything else over in the animation courtyard is going to be completely changed. And I will say, getting rid of the arch is definitely going to open up the area and have a lot more room, but it's just kind of weird seeing it without all that. Also, Hollywood Studios has really gone all in on their retro style Christmas decor, which is really nice to see. And this is not the best interpretation and visual showing of it, because it looks a lot better at night. If you're under the shroud of nightfall, it's much better. And I'm sure at some point I'll see it after dark with all the neon lit up and all that. But for now, cutting over outside of the park and gonna head over to the Skyliner station, which is kind of cut this way through the parking lot and back over, and gonna get on the Skyliner now. All right, curious which one I'm gonna get. There's a Moana one right over there, Nemo one right here. And I'm grateful to have my own pod. Sometimes, when it's really busy, you have to share with a group or a family or someone else. Just cruising along here. There's like a truck pulling through here. There's a tow truck or something pulling down here. You take a look right down there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Parking lot not too congested, not too busy of a day in there. Oh, it feels so good. The vents open right there, the nice little breeze rolling through here. I'm liking it. This is the way to spend the day. No wait times. This is a ride of its own. A nice way to travel. I love the look of the monorail. Obviously, I'm a big monorail guy. Love seeing it. Being on the monorail isn't as smooth and as elegantly fluid as the Skyliner. I think I prefer riding on an empty Skyliner than I do on the monorail. I like seeing the monorail from the ground, but riding it, Skyliner. Also, I do not know if I will get one of the peppermint mocha lattes again. That was strong, very pepperminty flavor. I went with the standard amount of pumps when you just say, give me the peppermint mocha latte without whip. That's what I got. The peppermint was so overbearing. I don't know if I'll get it again, honestly. Skyliner station not too incredibly busy right now. Got Art of Animation, Pop Century. Yeah, I'll go this way. I haven't been over to Pop Century and Art of Animation via the Skyliner in quite a while. I'm gonna guess, judging by this line, I will have my own pod also. 291's got my name on it. Well, not really, but it's a figure of speech. It's not going to be the clearest view out the window because it does have a animation wrap around it. But going across the lake, the lagoon here, Pop Century and Arc of Animation on either side running parallel. I think this is called Hourglass Lake. It's been a while since I flew over it on the gondolas, but yeah. Pulling into the station. Oh, coming in hot. Very abrupt. I made it. Made it to Pop Century. Just confirmed with the cast member, this is in fact Hourglass Lake. Pretty cool. I love how they just kind of, I don't know if they skim across the water, but they're pretty low to the water. Hourglass Lake. I love these things. They're so cool. Such a nice addition to WDW. I wish they'd add more to other resorts and other parks on the Walt Disney World property. And they might, who knows? Nice batch of lily pads down there. I think it's nice about these particular hotels. I've stayed at both of them a number of times a few years ago, is it has perfect access to the Skyliner, which can get you right over to Epcot, right over to Studios. These are the perfect value resorts to stay at if you're going to either one of those two parks, in my opinion. Perfect. It's just a Skyliner access. It's just so nice to pop into Studios and pop into Epcot Center. Now, if you're trying to go to Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom, that's a little bit different scenario, but you can always take a bus if you don't have a rental car. Going under the sea. The theming over here at these are really great too. Love the theming all through here. The fish up on the side of the buildings. Check out Dory up there and Crush right here, the turtle. Massive, massive Crush and Dory in comparison. You see people walking underneath. That's the size. Big turtle right there. The Dory. I always like this area over here where they have the cars area. Radiator Springs. They have Radiator Springs billboard there, a happy place. The sheriff car out front. Cozy Cone Cafe, Ornament Valley, Radiator Springs sign. All the different cast of characters from the Cars franchise. Love Cars, especially the first one. Love the whole Route 66 thing. If you ever done Route 66, which next year Route 66 celebrates its 100th anniversary. 100 years of Route 66, and that is basically the basis of the movie Cars. Now the freeway, the interstate, I should say, came along and originally kind of destroyed 66, but now it's thriving. Not based on the movie Cars, but just in general. Well, thriving to a degree where, people who are really into Americana and history and all that are really embracing it. And at some point next year in 26, I'm going to be doing at least a month on Route 66. That's my goal for the 100th anniversary of 66. I'm looking forward to it. So it's kind of nice to kind of wet my whistle, if you will, by walking through this little section right here and seeing all the car stuff. Love it. It's kind of like our own version of Cars Land here on the East Coast. All right, off, up, and over Hourglass Lake. Head over to Skyliner station. Get off this one, get on another one, go to Riviera.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Skyliner.
Birds chirping. Like birds, an infestation of birds directly below me. And these weeds right here, look. Down in the shrubs, a bird overload. You can hear them squawking. It's a nice relaxing day. It feels good with the breeze coming through here. It feels so good. Cannot state that enough. Pulling into the station. Alright, over here at the Skyliner station, the lines are so backed up of people wanting to go to Epcot that I'm pretty sure I would probably share a gondola with 5 or 6 or 7 other people. So I am just going to walk the half mile to the Riviera instead of being in a full gondola. And I haven't strolled to the Caribbean Beach Resort in a while, so that's what I'm going to do. It's not that far. Nice little stroll through Caribbean Beach Resort. I see the Skyliner going over right up above there. This is one thing nice about living close to WDW. You just pop over. If you wanted to utilize that hammock, you could. If you wanted to sit right here on the beach, you could. And there's that little island over there. Little vestibules you could sit at. Or if you just want to ride the Skyliner around all day, or the monorail, or the friendship boats. It's a nice vibe. I think the addition of the Skyliner has really been helpful, not only to me, but I'm sure to others as well, to really understand the layout of the land and how some of the resorts are placed in correlation to the others, because you get a bird's eye perspective. Obviously now you can go on satellite view and Google Earth and all that stuff, but back in the day you really didn't understand the layout of some of these resorts. At least I didn't. And once you're like up in the Skyliner, you're like, oh, that's where that is. Alright, gonna jump in this platform here and head to Epcot. And then from Epcot, which launches from right over there, I'll take a friendship boat back to Studios. Possibility of sharing one now. How are you? Just one. Going to Epcot, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, I lucked out. Look at this. All right, all right. Last Skyliner station, which goes from there to here and then over to Epcot, doesn't deboard. I mean, there was like 200 people in line, so they were stuffing those things full. But evidently, they leave an occasional one open for those who are getting on here at Riviera. Little hack. Little ride alone hack. I equate riding in one of these with a group of people kind of like being in an elevator for an extended amount of time. So that's kind of the vibe you'll have. It's interesting from this angle also. So World Showcase is, I don't know, maybe 400 or 500 yards that way, and you see how much space there is behind the pavilions around World Showcase, the countries. Over here to this road that the Skyliner runs parallel to, there's a lot of empty space, parking area, storage area that they could move World Showcase back and build more behind it. But it's just a lot of empty space that you don't really notice until you're up here in the Skyliner, right over there, World Showcase. But there's a massive, massive gap of like a quarter of a mile. Not exact, but close. A lot of space. There's Swan and Dolphin over there, Boardwalk. See a little bit more of that on the friendship boats going back to Studios. Going by both of those, wedged in between both of those buildings. There's the Eiffel Tower, but it's silhouetted out there with the scrim around the gondola.
If you are planning to visit World Showcase today, that would be a good time to practice.
The old trusty Skyliner. Well, trusty until there's a storm, or if the wind's blowing really hard and there's lightning. Other than that, pretty trusty. Doesn't work well in the wind. It usually shuts down in the storms. And there's a lot of those in Florida, so if that happens, you gotta find another mode of transportation, like a bus. I don't even know if I'm gonna pop in World Showcase. In fact, I'm not. I'm gonna take the Friendship 6 from this point, the base of the Skyliner. Couple stops. Eventually get over to Studios. To be honest, I've never taken the Friendship boat from this port. I would always walk over to the boardwalk, which is just over the bridge, just around the bridge, not far. And then I would grab the next stop. But taking it from here. Boat, I saw the Boardwalk Deli over here at the boardwalk. Well, Boardwalk Deli is naturally at the boardwalk. And I thought, you know what? I'll pop in here and maybe get a sandwich of some sort. Kind of in the mood for a little deli. They're rolling in the dough. Come on in. And these are the items I've never eaten in here. Veggie crunch, Italian sub, roasted turkey, chicken salad wrap, meatball sub, maybe like the one they used to have at Rizzo's Studios, RIP, ham and cheese croissant. Okay, these are not like what I was thinking, like freshly made. These are probably already pre-made Italian subs, but I'm gonna get the Italian. All right, grabbed a seat right over here. You know, I've never eaten at this deli. Comes with some Miss Vicky's sea salt chips, and this is the sandwich. I put a little mustard on it also, but this is what we're dealing with. The bread is like a baguette. That wasn't bad for a nice little quick service sandwich on the baguette. Kind of remind me of the kind of sandwiches I would get from Pret a Manger or Pret a Manger in London. I'm going to take this over to the other side of this lagoon and then to Studios, or maybe I'll get off at Swan and Dolphin. The options are endless. Possibilities are endless. I think that's the saying, but options are endless also. I mean, it's not necessarily one thing that's endless.
Turn ready. Yeah, up there. We're up there.
next stop, Swan and Dolphin. Then from there we're going up to Hollywood Studios. Please remain seated until we come to a complete stop and the captain is up there. And no smoking, no vaping, please. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same guy that designed the Swan and Dolphin also designed the Celebration Florida, where I live, post office. Fun fact. While I'm on a little bit of a transportation kick, I rarely take the tram. I think I'm gonna take the tram. I'm not going that far, but why not take the tram, right?
I will let you know when it is safe to board. Now we are still in motion. Again, this minute all the way behind that. More fantastic driver up in the front, myself here in the very back. We hope you guys enjoyed your day here at the Disney's Hollywood Studios today. As a reminder, the speed limit on parking is going to be 15 miles per hour. That's a slow 1.5, not a fast 9.5. This light may be a highway, but this may be a parking lot. Upon exiting, you can follow those white arrows on the ground to our one and only exit. And if you're having any car trouble or you need help finding it, you can come back up to the red poles and flag down the nearest cast member, and we'll do our best to further assist you. We're coming up on our first step to Mickey and Minnie's Disney City. And next to our small children in the circle. That's when we make that full and complete stop. Alright, there is that full stop. You can pull up and the handle push on the door. Lower your head and watch your step. If you're looking for Jesse or Buzz, that will be our next stop, so you may remain seated again. This is Mickey and Minnie. I'll find Mickey to the driver's right hand side with Minnie to the driver's left hand side.